Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sobat Fit, jumpa lagi pada acara Ngobrol Penuh Inspirasi Fakultas Ilmu Pendidikan Universitas Negeri Malang. Nah, hari ini kita kedatangan tamu spesial yang jauh dari Filipina. Welcome to our faculty and please introduce yourself.
Selamat pagi everyone. I am Sheporah Kate M, Fernandez. I am one of the exchange students delegates from the Philippines, most particularly in the University of Mindanao State University, General Santos City. And I am very grateful and we are very grateful for you accommodating us here in your university.
That's fabulous and welcome to our podcast. Today we are discussing education system between our countries, Indonesia and Philippines.
Yes.
And of course, thank you again for joining us. And it's very happy to welcome you in our podcast. I think I'm going to, the first question is about education system overview.
Okay.
Can you please briefly describe the structure of education in your country?
Actually, in the Philippines, we follow the K-12 program. This is where we have kindergarten, 6 years of elementary school, 4 years of junior high school, and 2 years of senior high school.
2 years of
Yeah.
senior. Okay, that's very interesting. In my country, we also have a structure system, but with different terminology and pathways.
Oh.
So there's no problem. The difference is okay, but we have a very good structure system. And maybe we talk about a curriculum and innovation. What are some recent innovation or reforms in your education system in Philippines?
Actually, in the Philippines, we have a lot of room for improvement there,
Okay.
wherein we've been focusing on curriculum reforms, integration of the 21st century skills,
That's good.
and the strengthening of the senior high school programs, which are the STEM and TVL.
STEM and
TVL.
TVR. That's
Yes.
very great. We are also emphasizing like a independent learning
Yes.
and flexible curriculum approach, especially in STEM and TVL.
TVL,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's very great innovation in Philippines and Indonesia as Southeast Asian countries. And then maybe I'm going to use of technology in education. That's quite
Yeah.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because we can, of course, live without technology. And how is technology being used in a classroom in the Philippines education?
Well, technology became very important when the pandemic hit
Oh, yes,
because
correct.
many schools use blended learning during that time because of course, we can't see each other face to face. So we needed modular learning and also online classes just to survive during that time. But now we are actively moving towards digital literacy for teaching and
Teaching.
learning.
So you do use LMS, maybe learning management
Yes,
system, and
yes.
then blended learning
Yes.
in class. Is that
Yes.
from kindergarten or university level?
I think many schools implement this also during elementary levels, of course, in the
The higher
grades.
grade, yeah.
And as for us in Mindanao State University, we definitely use LMS and also Google Classroom.
That's correct.
Of,
Yeah.
of course, we also use Messenger as a form of communicating with our professors and
And
instructors.
structure, yeah.
Yes. Through those things, we are able to be more flexible in learning and also not just limit ourselves in
Correct.
just pen and paper because in
Correct.
this day and age it's also important to be literate when it comes to technology. Yeah.
The key is being flexible and
Yeah,
adaptable. That's
adaptable.
very maybe the one of the solution.
Yeah.
Be adaptable and
Yeah.
yes. And then the next question is of course about challenges. What are the biggest challenges facing education in your country?
Amongst other things, some challenges include access to quality education in remote areas,
Oh yeah.
of course, digital divide, and teacher training. Let me emphasize this further so it just doesn't focus on the negative connotation. But
Yes, of course.
yeah, most of the rural areas in the Philippines are lacking quality education because we don't have resources or enough facilities. But the Philippines, just like always, is very resilient when it comes to these things. Yeah, that's why we have many volunteers, such
Okay,
as
good.
Tarabasa volunteers. Yeah, that's wherein we go to places and teach children how to read.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
especially in the rural areas.
Yeah.
And also digital divide. I think this is inevitable issue when it comes to education
yeah,
because not
correct.
everyone
Access, yeah.
has access
Access.
to
Educational
gadgets.
materials.
Yeah,
Yes.
educational materials, gadgets that
Gadgets,
allow
etc.
them to be more technology advanced,
Correct.
especially in the
Yeah.
rural areas.
Yeah.
And also teacher training. I think I've seen this issue firsthand because I've witnessed there is a lack of SPED teachers in the Philippines because they
Yeah.
don't have enough teacher training for special education. So we are actively moving towards that road of being more inclusive in classrooms. Actually, if I may share, sir, during my Miss MSU journey or
Okay.
Miss Mindanao State
Interesting to
University
see. Okay.
journey last year, my advocacy is all about inclusive education. And of course, we cannot be an inclusive classroom if we are not aware of
About
about
inclusivity.
inclusivity
That's
and
correct.
the neurodivergent traits of
Stress. Yes.
children. I don't like to use the connotation of
Yeah.
disability because it's not a disability. It's just a uniqueness of those children.
Correct.
Some of those neurodivergence traits as ADHD,
ADHD,
yeah,
autism.
autism,
Yes, correct. Yeah.
speech
Speech
impairment.
delay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a lot of those things are actually being experienced by our learners right now, not just in the
Wow.
Philippines but in the whole world. So I think it's important for us to be more inclusive in classrooms. And in the Philippines, we're actively driving towards that by providing teacher training for teachers and also providing instructional materials for
Materials
those
for those
yeah
need, yeah.
for those children. So for example, for visually impaired children,
Visually
we
impaired, yeah.
provide braille,
Braille
instructional materials.
alphabetics.
Yes, for children who have impairment in, they call this in hearing.
Yes,
We
hearing
can
impairment.
yes, we can also use visual instructional materials. So yeah, we are very dedicated to moving towards an inclusive education.
That's a very great stories and a very good lesson learned experience
Yeah.
in your university, especially as student.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that aligns with our efforts too in Indonesia, especially about teacher improvement, with the inclusivity, with with a lot of barriers. As island countries like
Yeah.
Philippines and Indonesia is quite similar in terms of
Yes.
a remote area.
We are both
Yes.
Austronesian.
Yeah, that's correct. So maybe the next question is, as a student, what skills are most important for you in the Philippines today? To develop?
As a student, actually there are a lot of skills that we have to attain,
Yeah, okay.
especially as future educators.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But the one thing that I would like to highlight is being adaptable when it comes to the classroom, especially when you're a SPED teacher, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
You have to constantly adjust to your learners or students because not a lot of people have understanding and awareness. So, as a future educator, it's really important for you to be more understanding and
Yeah.
adaptable when it comes to children that might have episodes or might have difficulty in learning. So, one thing that we were given actually the opportunity to observe a SPED classroom required for our CPE 103 course or our SPED course in Mindanao State University. And what I can say is that it's different from the books and actually
correct.
in real life.
The actual
Yeah,
condition.
the books say that SPED being a SPED teacher is not easy. But when you witness it firsthand and in the flesh, it's really difficult because I have witnessed the teacher being really understanding when it comes to his children that have special needs.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, because one of his students is is autistic. Yeah,
Yeah,
from what I remember, is autistic, and
autistic.
he has constant episodes when it comes to classrooms, especially when you are not following a routine.
Written,
Yeah, because
correct.
at that time we were there in the classroom, and he was very what do you call this, uncomfortable by
Uncomfortable,
our
yeah.
presence,
Yes,
since we
correct.
are observing. But what I have realized is that being an educator is not just
Yes, as a
teaching.
teaching.
It's
Yeah.
not just giving your students the knowledge, but it is also being
An inspiration.
inspiration. Yes,
Yeah,
and
correct.
from what I have learned is that it is important for us as educators to really connect with our students, not just be a passive teacher.
Teachers.
Yeah.
Wow. I really, I feel goosebump because it's like a actual condition with
Yes.
our two as a Southeast Asian countries faced with a lot of peoples, different islands, different
Yes.
races, different characteristic, and I think the next is how can our countries is Indonesia and Philippines collaborate in education, maybe as a Ministry of Southeast Asian
Yes.
Education. What is your your dream?
Yes. Um, um, Towards quality, how can we work together towards
Yes.
quality
Education,
education?
correct.
Of course, there are a lot of solutions, because when we are in that active drive towards giving quality education to our learners, we have a lot of solutions. But the one thing that I would like to highlight is this academic exchange program.
That's good.
Yes.
This program is the good example, right?
Yeah. This is a very good example into developing us
Yeah,
as future
yeah, me too.
educators.
We learned
Yeah.
a lot of with you.
Yeah, because when we got here, we really appreciated how um, included inclusivity into your facilities.
Correct.
From when I was walking around earlier, I have appreciated the ramps,
Yeah, and the
the
ramps,
sidewalks for the visually
the physical
impaired.
environments, yeah.
Yes, and I have seen that you have many programs that also support
These
special
students.
education, and that's the one thing that I really learned from here, is that
Thank you.
that special education is not just in the classroom, but it is also in the facilities,
facilities.
that we have here.
Yeah, inclusivity.
Yeah. So that's what I have learned around when I was walking around here earlier.
That's good.
And that's the one thing that we can do to move towards quality education for every learner.
Every-
It's to exchange our ways on how to teach them.
Correct.
Yes, it is to exchange our culture and to show them that learning is not just bound inside our classroom, but learning is also
Outside.
outside the
Beyond.
classroom, beyond the classroom.
Beyond the classroom. That's
Yes.
very good. Okay. It's very, I have to say, it's phenomenal question and answer between our countries. So we close to the closing statement as a lecturer, as a student. So again, thank you so much for the insightful discussion. And I would say in Philippines language, mabuhay.
Yes,
Bye
mabuhay.
Thank you so much again. And terima kasih banyak. Sampai jumpa di episode selanjutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much.